Culture shock, yeah. I mean, I feel like the program is great, so it's a lot of different things that you have to adjust to with any program. But yeah, all I can say is that SC is a very great program, and I'm just glad to be here. So I'm glad to work. I'm ready to work, and yeah, let's go.
Take us through your football journey. Coming out of high school, what was your recruitment like? Why was Wyoming the right choice? And then,
So one thing I could say about my recruiting process out of high school is, I didn't get many looks. I didn't have much interest coming out of high school. I think Wyoming and University of Northern Colorado were the only two programs that were giving me interest, and Wyoming was the only program that gave me a full ride scholarship. So that's, essentially what made my ultimate decision to go to the program, and I thank them for that. I'll always be grateful and thankful to the program in Wyoming for believing in me out of high school, and I feel like with every opportunity you have to capitalize. So I appreciate Wyoming for the opportunity they gave me.
why did you feel you were overlooked or underrated coming out of high school?
It's a good question. I guess I wouldn't say I was necessarily undersized, but I mean, I guess that would be a question for, the college coaches when I was coming out of high school. Maybe they didn't necessarily believe in me or what so, but, I believed in myself, and that's all that matters. So.
And then last year, obviously, you break out. What did you feel you showed everybody last season?
Last season, I feel like I showed everybody, I mean, it took me, 3 years to become a starter. There's a lot of ups and downs, a lot of, mental processing, tough times, asking yourself if this is for you and stuff like that. And I feel like, I created a mental fortitude and a mindset, to work through it all and just dominate anything that I'm asked of, anything I'm asked to do, whatever I do, just come with that right mindset to dominate and, help your brothers out and your teammates out, so you make not only yourself better, but your program better, for those that are around you, so wherever you are, you want to make the biggest impact you can. So.
Was it before last year that you kind of had that epiphany or like that mindset change?
Yeah, I would say like I started to develop that mindset after my second year, going into my third. Just because I wanted to prove to the next level, and to the coaching staff at Wyoming that I'm the guy that you need. I'm the guy that wants to help the team out the best way he knows I can. So that's all.
One of your first experiences on the field was against what turned out to be a really good Illinois defense with some defensive linemen there. What did you sense? What did you get from that and seeing that kind of defense right out the gate?
It was all I remember was being like very anxious and being very giddy. Like I just wanted to get on the field and just like, go show the world what I'm made of. So with that type of defense, I didn't necessarily, I knew what type of defense they were. And I just want, the type of mindset I have is like, if you line up against me, you're going down. So I didn't really care who it is, So I just attacked it like how I attacked every game, and yeah, I feel like that was one of my best games last year. So I just dominate mindset,
Your portal recruitment was much different than your high school recruitment. What was it like having all this interest this time around?
It was honestly a great experience. There's a lot of great talks I had with coaches. I got to see, more, I guess, of the college aspect around the U.S. And, I appreciate all the coaches for, showing their interest in me as well. And it was just like a eye-opening experience, to be honest. I didn't get that much interest coming out of high school, so like what I was seeing and what I was receiving at that moment in time, it was like night and day different. Like, it's just crazy. Like once in a lifetime experience. A lot of offers coming in day and out. I'm having to answer so many calls, and it's like I'm a businessman, for a couple of days. But yeah.
What kind of made USC kind of jump out from all those calls you were taking, all those students who were hitting you up?
mean, I think that answer is simple. It's Lincoln Riley, you know. So, you know, who don't want to play for Lincoln Riley? So, yeah, I mean, I just want to come play for, you know, top program, and I want to be able to showcase my talent, and I wanted to do it with, you know, I feel like program and a coaching staff that would, you know, get me to that next level mentally and physically as well, you know, just being elite overall. That's what I wanted to do. So I know Lincoln Riley could do that. So that was my best option.
Was it an easy choice then, or were there a few schools that you were really deciding between?
This was for sure one of my top choices. It was one of the ones I'd probably say, I said if I get offered here, yeah, I'm probably gonna come. But you know, other schools offered, and I was varying my options at the time. And then once that came, I was like, I think I know where I'm going.
What was that timeline in terms of hearing from USC and taking a visit and ultimately deciding for you?
The timeline?
Yeah, I mean, how quickly did that happen? Once they reached out.
I mean, I'm not necessarily sure of the timeline of everything. I kind of like forgot. I want to say it's probably I knew I was in the portal for like maybe 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks, I think. So that's all I could give you on that part. So
At what point last year did you know that you wanted to make the jump to the next level and try yourself at a school like this?
I mean, you know, that's a good question. To me, you know, I've always had to talk with my family as a child. You know, I told my mom, like, I always wanted to go play in the big leagues, you know, whether it was the NBA or the NFL. You know, I was a kid, so you want to go pro and everything. So, you know, I was always telling my mom, like, Mom, let me play football, and she never wanted me to play football and stuff like that. I'm like, it's okay, you know. I protect myself, and you know, he said, I want to say, like, when I was in high school, like, that's when she started, like, to be more lenient towards, you know, I was getting bigger, I was getting growth spurts and all type of stuff, and like, okay, and she was able to see what I was doing, and I said, she still wanted me to play basketball at the time. I said, Mom, you know, I think ultimately, like, football is going to pay the bills. You know, I'm better at it. I love basketball, but football is my passion. You know, you get to put people in the ground, and you know, and it's like a whole another mental side to it as well. And it's more family oriented. It's more brotherhood and things of that nature. You know, you blood, sweat, and tears with your brothers, and day in and day out process. And said that's something I want to be a part of, and I want to make whatever program, you know, I end up at, you know, proud. So that's
What was USC's pitch to you when they started recruiting you?
pitch.
How did they get your attention? What did they say that they liked about you, or why they wanted to bring you in?
I don't know. I'm not necessarily sure, but I think that's a question Coach Riley can answer. So,
Did you talk with Solomon, your former teammate at Wyoming, and what's it like to reunite with him here at USC?
yeah, I talked to Solly, Solo. That's what I like to call him. Yeah, I mean, during my recruiting process, I talked to him. You know, we kept in touch, and you know, he was always like even when he did leave, you know, he was always like a ear, you know, the ear for me, where I can, I guess, just get info to like how to just progress, you know, when I was at Wyoming and stuff like that, and keep building on what I was building and stuff, and what mindset to have. So like, I appreciate him for that, you know. So that's what I have to say for Solo.
What have your thoughts been about LA, just in general, this little bit that you've been here?
I'll say LA is honestly, it's just like how they say, it's like it's a big market here, you know. It's a lot of opportunities and a lot of connections and stuff like that. So that's what I can say about LA. Yeah.
What have you thought about your fellow offensive linemen and just that, especially that core starting group so far? Having worked with them a little bit.
Everybody's dope, you know. Every question I have, you know, they're responsive. Everybody's great, you know. Like there's great teammates. Very communicative, you know. They've taught me a lot of things and stuff like that, and I'm still building on it. So I just appreciate them for, you know, taking me in as a brother and trying to build with me. So
What's it been like building a relationship with Caleb? You're here, so you took me to the Dodgers game. Kind of what was that experience like?
It was a great experience. Caleb's obviously a great guy. Like I said before, I think I got interviewed at the game, Dodgers game, but he's a very down to earth guy. So it's not hard to, you know, try to talk to him or anything like that. He's just like a regular person, like anybody else, you know, just like me or anybody at this table. So, you know, it was the relationship was not hard to build, you know. So we're still building that relationship and hope to make it stronger. Hope to make it, you know, unbreakable.
What are your thoughts on camp and competing with Gino for that starting job?
I'll probably leave that question up to Coach Riley.
You mentioned Coach Riley as being a draw for you to come here. What is it about his offense that's appealing for an offensive lineman to play in?
I'd probably say when I was looking, I guess when I was evaluating the program, evaluating the offense, like I always think my coach in high school, he always had eyes on Oklahoma and stuff like that, and he said like this, essentially what he told me when I was in high school is like we used to watch like a lot of film and stuff from different various college programs and stuff like that, and he said, you know, Oklahoma and Coach Riley's offense was, you know, one of the best offenses a lineman could be in, you know, and I know with my talent and Coach Riley's, you know, mind and, you know, work of the game, it's you know, unmatchable. So yeah.
What would you say your strengths are as an offensive lineman?
My strengths, I'd probably say, are run game and yeah, I said like run game, like to put people in the dirt, and my hands in the pass game, you know. I think personally I have good hands. I can regroup, you know, off the line. I can get extension, a lot of those good things, you know, to keep the quarterback protected and stuff like this. So that's one of the strengths I have that I would like to build on in the future.
Just going through your timelines, you didn't play in 2020. Was that because of the pandemic?
Yes, COVID year. Yeah, it was a lot of tracing, you know, with the COVID. I don't know what the term they call it is, you know, with the contact trace, I think that is. So it was just a whole bunch of those problems, you know, that essentially halted everybody's progression when we were at Wyoming. So, you know, yeah.
What's the area you feel you've grown the most as a player over your time in college?
The area I've grown the most, I've always felt like people have always told me that, you know, it wasn't the physical side I was missing. It was my mental side. So I think that's the biggest thing for me, was just building, you know, the mental side of my game. It's the mental side of when you're in games and, you know, it's 4th and 2 and you got to have it, or it's, you know, 3rd and 12 and stuff like that. But yeah, I think the biggest thing for me was just building my mental side and yeah, progressing with that.
The expectations for this team are really high, and coaching the players are really shying away from that. As a new addition, I guess, what's your sense of what this team can accomplish based on what you've seen early so far?
I feel like we have a lot of talent here, a lot of great players. In my eyes, any program that you're at, you know, there's going to be talent anywhere, you know, any program that you're at. What it comes down to is just, you know, finding the relationship and bond within that team, you know, to like every day. It's the everyday process, in and out. To build together, and the biggest thing to me personally is attention to detail, and knowing that your brother has your back. When you're in a flight of war and stuff like that. So I feel like that's something that we're continually building, and I haven't been fortunate enough to be a part of a championship team, but I most definitely feel like this will be the championship team with the guys that I've been able to meet here and talk with and build with. So we most definitely have the talent, and we're building every day. So
If I could take it back to the port, what's 2 things you would tell anybody that asked you, should they jump in, should they not? Is it a way to go? What pitfalls should I look out for? What would you tell a younger guy who's looking to jump in the port?
I'd say, if anything, most times when guys are in college, they almost feel like they're isolated and they feel like they're alone. So I'd say for those guys that are feeling those type of ways, just to talk to those that's closest to you, your family members, of course, your auntie, your grandma, whoever it is, and just hash it out with them and find a plan. Just don't just feel some type of urge because of an emotion that you felt, or maybe a coach came at you some way. Just talk with your family and communicate, and I guess go from there. Transferring and hopping in the portal isn't the best option for everybody, so you just gotta weigh and vary your options. So
Thanks, Emmanuel. Great job.
Good stuff.